I stopped drinking, and then I watched myself repeat the same pain in a completely different form. I thought I was broken. Spirit showed me I wasn't. I got sober. Then I watched myself fall into the same pain, just a different person, a different situation, the same wound. Spirit was trying to show me something, and it took me a long time to understand what it was. Most people look at their patterns and feel shame. They think, what is wrong with me? Why do I keep ending up here? Why do I keep choosing the same kind of heartbreak? The mind looks for logic, but Spirit doesn't speak in logic. Spirit speaks in patterns. Every painful cycle in your life is a message, one your soul has been trying to deliver for a long time. Here's what I want you to understand. A cycle will keep repeating. Not because you're weak, not because you're cursed, but because your soul won't let you leave without the lesson. It is relentless in its love for your growth. Think of it like a chapter in a book your soul is writing. You can't get to the next chapter until this one is complete. And every time you numb the pain with alcohol or with drugs, with distraction, with people who can't really see you, you turn back to the same page. And the chapter starts again. For me, drinking was how I stayed asleep. I thought I was escaping the cycle. I was only extending it. When I got sober, I thought I had broke the pattern. Spirit showed me something harder. The pattern wasn't the drinking. Drinking was a response to the pattern. The real cycle was underneath. It was a belief that I wasn't worth protecting, that love came with conditions. I had to earn my place. That wound had been showing up in every relationship, every loss, long before the first drink. Alcohol just made it easier to ignore. The moment I got clear enough to feel it, that's when the real spiritual awakening began. If this is resonating, if you feel like you've been living inside a cycle you can't escape, stay with me, because what I'm about to share changed the way I understood my own healing journey. And it might change yours too. If you haven't already subscribed and follow me on this journey, I'll be here. How to recognize you're in a soul cycle. There are 3 signs Spirit showed me. The first is the feeling of being familiar in my pain, not just deja vu, something deeper, a tired recognition, like I've been here before. The second is emotional overreaction, when something small triggers something enormous inside you. That's not about the present moment, that's old energy. A wound asking to be seen. The third is the same type of person appearing in your life, not the same face, the same energy, the same lesson, wearing different clothes. These aren't coincidences. These are your soul's syllabus. How to begin breaking the cycle. Breaking the soul's cycle begins with one thing: presence. Not fixing, not fleeing, presence. You have to be willing to sit inside the feeling long enough to ask, what is this really about? What is this showing me? What does this part of me still need? One practice that helped me is what I call a soul inventory. You write down the painful pattern, then you trace it back as far as you can. Not to assign blame, to find the root. Because once you find the root, you can grieve it. And grief is the doorway out of the cycle. Shadow work is part of this too. Sitting with the parts of yourself you've been most afraid to look at. Not to shame them, to finally give them the love they were asking for all along. You are not trapped, you are not broken, you are not being punished, you are being prepared. Every painful cycle you have lived through has been building something in you, a depth of understanding, a capacity for compassion, a connection to spirit that only this kind of suffering can create. When I look back at the cycles that brought me here, the ones that broke me open, I don't see failure anymore. I see my soul's training. I see the path that led me to this moment. If you've been feeling that pull, that quiet voice telling you something has to change, trust it. Your soul is trying to reach you. Leave a comment if this resonated. I want to know where you are on your healing journey. Thank you for following my journey. Hi, my name is Jack Hardy. If you watch any of my videos, lately I'm focused on being an empath, being sober, and moving into spiritual awakening and all the different aspects of that, both good and bad. If you want some clarity on that, I'm going to be having some free clarity calls this week coming up, starting Tuesday the 9th, May 19th. And these are totally free. They'll be 15-20 minutes long. I'll be putting the link in the description, and if you want any clarity or any questions or want to talk about anything, feel free. Thank you for watching my content.